2 months ago, Elon Musk announced the biggest chip factory in human history. Every AI channel called it a Tesla story. They were all wrong. The factory is called TERAFAB. It is a $25 billion joint venture between Tesla, SpaceX, and xAI built on the North Campus of Gigafactory, Texas. Musk called it the most epic chip building exercise in history. At full capacity, the plan is to produce 1 terawatt of AI compute every year, roughly 70% of what TSMC, the largest chip maker on Earth, produces today. From a single facility, a true engineering marvel. That part you have probably heard. Here is what you probably did not hear. In the 60 days since that announcement, 3 details have surfaced that almost no one led with. 3 things that changed the entire picture of what TeraFab actually is. The first of them, the strangest one, has been hiding in plain sight.
I went back and watched 12 TERAFAB videos from March. Not a single one of them led with what I'm about to show you.
Buried inside Musk's presentation was a single number that almost every outlet glossed over. He said that 80% of TeraFab's chip output will not be used on Earth. 80%. The chips are being built for space. To put that in scale, out of every 5 chips that roll off this line, 4 are headed for orbit. Only 1 stays on the ground. That means Tesla cars, Optimus robots, ground-based data centers, everything we associate with Musk's AI empire happening at the surface. That is the minority of what this factory is being built to produce. Musk gave 2 technical reasons during the announcement, and neither one is hand-waving. First, solar irradiance in space is roughly 5 times greater than at the Earth's surface. A chip in orbit has 5 times the energy density to draw from, no atmosphere absorbing it, no night cycle the way we know it down here. Second, and this is the more important part, heat rejection in a vacuum makes thermal scaling viable. Translation, in space, you can dump waste heat directly into the void. On Earth, every data center is in a permanent war with its own thermal output. Cooling alone is often 40% of an Earth-based data center's energy budget. In orbit, that problem effectively goes away. This is not a side project. This is not a thought experiment. This is the design intent of the largest semiconductor facility ever proposed. And the timing is not random. In April, the Space Force awarded SpaceX a $2.29 billion contract, the SDN backbone, to handle how the US military communicates in space. That puts SpaceX at the center of military space infrastructure. And SpaceX itself is heading toward a public offering as soon as June 2026, with a reported valuation of $1.75 trillion. Read those facts side by side. $1 trillion IPO, a multi-billion-dollar military contract for space-based communications, and a factory whose 80% output is, by design, for orbit. The TeraFab chip story is not a Tesla story. It is an infrastructure play for what Musk clearly believes is the next layer of the internet. And that layer is not on the ground.
When I first started reading about 80% number, I assumed it was hyperbole, the kind of thing my throat to grab a headline.
But once you look at the chip design, the D3 chip, the orbital silicon, and you see how TeraFab's output is actually being divided in the planning documents, the number stops looking like marketing. It starts looking like the entire reason the factory exists. If TeraFab ships on its current timeline by late 2027, there will be more dedicated AI compute orbiting the Earth than running on most national power grids. Tesla cars and Optimus robots will still be customers of this factory, but they are customers, not the purpose. The purpose by Musk's own design is up there. That is the first detail every TeraFab video missed, and it might be the most spectacular, but it is not the most revealing. Because the second thing, the one Musk almost certainly did not want headlines about, is the answer to a much simpler question. Who is actually building this factory? Because it is not Tesla? On April 7th, 2026, about 2 weeks after the TeraFab unveiling, Intel issued a press statement. Most outlets covered it as a partnership announcement, a supplier signing on. That is not what it was. Read the exact wording. Intel said, quote, "Our ability to design, fabricate, and package ultra-high performance chips at scale will help accelerate TeraFab's aim to produce 1 terawatt of compute per year." That is not the language of a supplier, that is the language of the entity actually doing the work. Tesla is many things: automaker, energy company, increasingly a robotics company. It is not and has never been a chip fabricator. Building a leading edge semiconductor facility from scratch requires decades of cleanroom expertise, a workforce of process engineers who do not exist on the open market, tooling that takes years to install and calibrate. Musk announced TeraFab in March without naming a manufacturing partner. 3 weeks later, Intel walked through the door. And based on the language of that release, Intel is the one actually building the fab. What Intel brings is its 18A process node, the technology it has been betting its entire future on. 18A uses gate-all-around transistor architecture, backside power delivery, and three-dimensional stacking through Intel's EMIB and Foveros technologies. These are the techniques that make it possible to build a chip at the 2 nanometer scale and still get usable performance out of it. Right now, only 3 companies on Earth are producing sub-5 nanometer chips at scale: TSMC, Samsung, and Intel. Intel is the only one of those 3 that is American owned and American operated, and it was until very recently considered the weakest of the 3. That changed on April 7th. When Musk first announced TeraFab, the industry response was skeptical. Tom's Hardware published an exhaustive analysis calling the project, quote, "extremely unrealistic." Their numbers were stark. Building 1 terawatt of AI silicon per year would require processing the equivalent of 22.4 million GPU wafers annually, with a capital requirement somewhere between $4 and $5 trillion. The verdict from the most respected hardware analysts on the internet was that TeraFab, as Musk described it, could not be built. And then construction started anyway. Active earthwork began less than 4 weeks after the announcement. The drone footage is public. The site is real. What changed? Intel, the 18A node. And the most quietly important business deal in semiconductors this decade. The TeraFab story is not just about Tesla building chips. It is also the story of how Elon Musk rescued Intel, the American semiconductor industry's most prominent failing pillar, by handing them a guaranteed customer with a multi-decade roadmap. There is a version of this story where 5 years from now we look back and say, this was the moment American semiconductor manufacturing came back, and Tesla paid for it. Which brings us to the third thing every video missed. Because once you know who is building TeraFab and what it is for, one final question remains. What are the first chips off the line going to power? The AI-5 chip, Tesla's next generation silicon, was tape-out completed earlier this year. Tape-out is the industry term for finalizing the design and sending it to a foundry. It is the point of no return. And here is the detail almost no one led with. AI-5 will be installed in Optimus robots and Tesla's supercomputer training clusters first. Cars, including the Cybercab, will continue running AI-4 and AI-4.5 hardware through at least the end of 2026. Consider what that actually means. The newest, most advanced chip Tesla has ever designed, built specifically for autonomous inference at the highest performance ceiling currently achievable, is not going into autonomous cars. It is going into humanoid robots. And it is not because cars do not need it. It is because Tesla's allocation priority has shifted. AI-5 mass production is now slated for 2027, already delayed from earlier targets. AI-6 is in development with a tape-out target of December 2026 on a 9-month design cycle. A new chip every 9 months. That is not the cadence of a car company. It is the cadence of a robotics company or an AI lab. Stack the 3 things every TeraFab video missed: 80% of the output going to space, Intel actually building the fab, AI-5 going to robots before cars. A single coherent picture emerges, and it is not the picture that was sold in March. TeraFab is an Intel built, Tesla and SpaceX financed semiconductor facility whose primary output is space based AI compute, whose first chips will power robots before they power cars, and whose existence sits at the intersection of $2 trillion IPO bound companies and the US military's next generation space communications network. If it works, it rewrites the global semiconductor map. NVIDIA gets a domestic competitor. TSMC's monopoly cracks. Intel returns. American space compute leapfrogs everything in orbit today. If it does not, this becomes the most expensive industrial failure in the history of Tesla. Tom's Hardware's analysis is not wrong. The capital requirement is staggering. The expertise gap is real. The timeline is aggressive. The first chips are scheduled to come out in 2027. The clock is running. Most channels covered the announcement. Almost none are tracking what is actually happening on the ground. If you want the next update, when AI 5 ships, when Intel commits the 18A capacity, when the first orbital test silicon goes up, that is what this channel does. Subscribe if you want the receipts, not the press release. The real plan was never about cars. It might not even be about Earth.